All right, the Bucks. It is Talking Buccaneers with me, Fumane Msisinyane, after 3 goals of ours against 2 goals of theirs. And I got to tell you, one of the hardest things about doing what I do is you've got to sit on the screen, on this table, I beg your pardon, in front of this lens, under these lights, and try and break down what was purely an emotional journey for you. You've got to try and sit here and say something tactical and sort of objective and educational, perhaps for someone. And I just want to say that if that's you, if you're tuning in today to get some kind of tactical breakdown review of the Soweto Derby, this show is not for you today. I'm going to sit here and vomit onto the screen, all these thoughts that I have. I'm going to speak mostly from my heart than from my head. Your show, if you want a tactical breakdown, will be on Monday. I'll be doing something on Monday where I'll be sort of re-looking at the Soweto Derby with a bit of, maybe footage and pictures to explain what I saw in this game, which I definitely didn't see in the first time of watching it, because what I saw, bloody hell, was an amazing Soweto Derby to witness, especially as an Orlando Pirates fan, but I do imagine even as a neutral and maybe even as a Kaizer Chiefs fan. And this is the thought that kept coming in my head as I was watching that game, was that, it's so refreshing to finally watch a Soweto Derby in which you feel like tactics aren't so big of a thing in this game. It's purely just an emotional game. And you've got to guard against that, because that can definitely go the other way, where there'll be a lot of brawls and fights in the game, which we didn't see much of, to the credit of the players. And I don't know if I should give credit for that, because you do want to see a bit of emotion from the players. You do want to see that it matters a great deal to them. But also you don't want too many stoppages in these games, because it does then, when I watch Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, especially in the last game, I was so frustrated at how often the game was being stopped and started again. But so credit to the players in that regard. However, I don't know if it's purely a good thing that there was not a lot of fights in this game. I don't know where to start. There's so many things that I do want to say. Firstly, I want to give credit to the guys just for the fighting spirit that they've shown. It's been a terrible season so far for us. There's no use hiding. There's no hiding place, actually. It's been a terrible, terrible season for us, considering what we achieved last season and what we planned for this season. Where we're at. But, these Soweto derbies can almost make you forget all of that. When Libito strikes that ball and it hits that bar like it did, that crossbar, and bounces in and out like it did, it's almost as if, out of his foot, he kicks all of your memories out of your mind. And as you watch it get into that net, it's almost as if you're witnessing something special from the guys. And, it was so great for me to witness. I don't want to lie, guys. I kept trying to look at, the tactical stuff, what's going on in this game, who's doing what, how are we building up, how are we dealing with that midfield battle, how is our attack, how are we trying to sort of impose ourselves on them, how are we trying to create chances and that sort of thing. But the whole time, I guess I've just been captured by how emotional this thing was. Maybe it had to do with the fact that, 86,000 people watching this game from the stadium, so much noise, bit of quality from some of the players, bit of bad quality from some of our players as well. But in the end, that heart to, come from behind twice and then snatch it not at the very end, but sort of get that third goal and win this game. It's just such a pleasant feeling that I can't even find words to speak about this game. And you guys are going to be so mad at me that this is going to be such a poor review probably. But I'm sure you guys can relate with me in that, there's just so much emotion that came out of me and you, I imagine, as Buccaneers in this game that it's so hard to put it into words afterwards. But anyway, the game was great. I mean, if I can say sort of as the lineups go out, my thought is, okay, the goalkeeper, great. Left back, Dion Hoto, that's who I would have started in that position. If you watched my squad predictor show, I did say that I think the coach is going to play with Maela, but I would definitely go with Hoto there. Shocking to see Thabiso Lebitso, who I had a lot of criticism for him, sort of watching the game with a friend that where's he going? This is such a shock to see him start this game, but that's definitely the way to legislate. That's the way to justify starting in the Soweto Derby, Thabiso Lebitso. That strike is a way to get yourself into the Buccaneers' hearts. And, massive credit to him. But I didn't think it was a good thing to start him. Centre-back pairing, obviously, one of the negative things that I saw was Olisanda seeming like he was going to suffer with an injury in that game. But, was he substituted? Yes, he was substituted, actually. So it is the negative thing in this derby if I do find something negative to say. But initially seeing Olisanda and Thapelo Qoki was something that I thought would happen. And then Sbisi obviously comes on in the second half to replace Nda, who walked off injured. And then central midfield, you know what, I do want to say that I was really shocked. Not so much, actually. I did think that the coach would do something like maybe play Tim in this game. He does do that sort of thing. But upon watching him throughout the game and seeing him get subbed off for Talent Mbata, I think we could have started with Mbata, and I don't think there would have been any drop off in quality. In fact, I think Talent Mbata is more mobile than Miguel Tim. And there's a lot of positives for me personally in playing Mbata than playing Tim in this game. I think the positive is that going forward, you are, firstly, it almost seems like Mbata is on this trial, right? He's on this audition to be an Orlando Pirates player, which he has grabbed with elegance so far in the way he's performed in the games that he has played. I mean, there's a lot of people that are not at all impressed with him, which I'm really surprised at. But I think every time that I've seen him is that he's very dynamic. He's got a bit of pace, especially with the ball. He can drive a bit with it. He's got a good turn on him. He's very mobile and energetic as well. So I've been really impressed, and I thought that he would start. I was really shocked to see Tim, not so much Makaula. I knew Makaula was going to start this one. He's been doing so well for us, and he just does what he does that no one else does in our team so far. In the guys that we have. And then, Patrick Maswanga, you're not surprised to see him there. Relebohile Mofokeng, very impressed to see him start. I thought the coach might be tempted to go with Hoto and bench Mofokeng, but massive credit to the coach. Surprised to see Mabasa start. I thought we're probably going to start. I thought Mabasa was actually fourth in the pecking order to start this one. I thought the coach might surprise us with even Erasmus ahead of Mabasa. But decent, performance from Mabasa, especially in the link-up play. I think compared to the guys that we have, he's very involved in the build-up. He brings in everyone with his touches, quite elegant with that left foot, Mabasa. My personal shout, obviously, was that, and I've got a video about that, I was hoping that Saleng would start this one. I don't want to sit here and sort of beat myself in the chest, but I do want to beat myself in the chest, for just requiring, and I know a lot of you guys were requesting for Saleng to start. It's just was starting to get silly to see potentially the best right winger in the league not playing for Orlando Pirates. And what can I say? The performance speaks for itself. Saleng doesn't have to have the best game to impact it, and that's just something that is so impressive about him. That's just something that sets him apart from everyone else, is that, the first goal taken with such great quality. I thought he would slip Mofokeng, in there. But that's just the uniqueness of Saleng, is that everyone, as much as everyone complains about him being greedy, but I guess there's a time in where you want your strikers to be greedy. The reason strikers get as much goals that they get is because they're greedy. If strikers passed at every time that you and I thought they should pass, they don't get as much goals as they get. And that's the thing about Saleng, is that when he misses that, everyone screams at him, why didn't you pass Mufugeng? But when he places it in the bottom corner like he did, that first goal, the way he took it so well, is that everyone just, waxes lyrical about how good he is. And I mean, I could even get onto the second goal. Again, greatly taken. That's Saleng for you. Always hounding, always sniffing out where to be, always, not giving the defense any rest. Well taken goal again to give us that lead. And a bit about Kaizer Chiefs. Look, I didn't think Kaizer Chiefs would. Something I said again was that whatever you think of them, players like Dupree, Saleng, Saile are not so well liked by the average fan, because the average South African fan obviously likes a bit of elegance in his winger or striker, right? He likes his striker or his winger to be more like Tulani Serero, someone who can glide on the pitch, sort of eliminating players, dropping the shoulder with a bit of elegance, with flair and that sort of thing. So someone who's rugged like Saleng, someone who's rugged like Saile, and I'm not sort of advocating that Saile is the best winger or anything like that, but I am making the point that whatever you might say about these guys is that they are really a threat. And I think I did mention in my previous videos that, I didn't think Dupree would start this one, but something I did mention is that in behind, those are the guys. Those are the guys with ice in their veins. They miss the sort of 8 chances, but they take the 2. And both of them, Dupree and Saleng, took 2 chances well and scored 2 goals. And you've got to give credit. I mean, it's ridiculous how these guys catch a lot of hate and criticism, and but more so Saleng, actually. Just the output is insane from Munapule Saleng. And just glad to see him get some positive make some positive headlines, because recently he's really been catching some hate. And you know what, I am impressed, I guess, with us for winning this derby, because I think if we lose this one, I'm sitting here on this desk and I'm saying that, should Jose Rivero be in this job still? Because, losing the derby just does that to you. It does that to you as a fan, where if things aren't going well, it makes things worse, right? I know of coaches that lost their jobs at Kaizer Chiefs after Soweto Derby. I think Gavin Hunt, if I'm not mistaken, after losing a few derbies, he got the sack. So I'm sitting here after the Cape Town Spurs draw and a couple of bad results this season, crashing out of, obviously, the Black Label Cup, also crashing out of the league because it's obviously gone, crashing out of the CAF Champions League as well, with all the strengthening around our squad. Listen, I'm sitting here after losing the derby and I'm going, we've got to reassess whether Jose Rivero can take us further than where he's gotten us so far. I'm of the view that he's gotten us to a place where we're a bit of a solid team. I mean, if you think about Kaizer Chiefs and every other team except Stellenbosch, who for me I rank them. I rate Stellenbosch. I think they're a very good team. I think the fact that their name is Stellenbosch and it's not Orlando Pirates or what have you is the reason why they are underestimated. Apart from that, I think they're a very strong team with really good players and a very good coach, and a very good system and a very good structure around them, especially around youth and that sort of thing. But I'm losing sort of my train of thought. But the point I want to make is that I'm questioning whether Jose Rivero can take us beyond where he's gotten us. I think he's gotten us to a place where we're quite a solid team. When you think about Pirates as compared to Chiefs, you think about Pirates as a stronger team. Before any match is played, before anything is played, you're thinking Pirates is definitely better than Kaizer Chiefs. And we've got that sort of gravitas to our name and, respect to us, even though, the log doesn't show it. But there is a bit of respect to Pirates. And when we lose, it does sound like we're underperforming. It's not a case of, oh, well, that's just Pirates. Like it is when Kaizer Chiefs lose, it's like, oh, yeah, well, we didn't expect them to win in the first place, right? So, but I'm sitting here if we lose the Soweto Derby and I'm questioning whether, okay, some coaches are good to get us to this point, and then you need a better coach to get us to that next level. And I'm questioning whether Jose Rivera can do anything beyond what he's done so far. And I'll do a video perhaps just around that talk, especially towards the end of the season, whether or not we can improve with this coach. But, so I'm really impressed that we won. I'm glad for him because, it definitely buys him time. Not that he needed to buy himself time, but in my sort of books, I think it buys him that time where I go, okay, let's keep going without having to start that conversation as yet, if that conversation needs to be started, provided the season continues to be as disappointing as it has been so far. And one of the things that I want to say is that, we like to sort of get some positives in these kind of results. And the positive that I want to say is, and I want to take is that these results, cliche as it may sound, and cliches are things that are true a lot of the time, is that these results can be the sort of the lift that you need in the place, right? In the squad, in the team. Well, firstly, I think it's going to be a massive lift for Saleng. Not that he needed to prove himself, but I think he has proven himself to be, and this is so silly to me, with Saleng having done what he's done last season, that Saleng still needed to prove himself to start in this game. I've been having conversations with people, and people have been saying, does he deserve to start? And I go, look, he might not be in the greatest form, but the fact that he's Saleng and he plays football that he does, yes. Who else would you start? What other right winger do you have at Pirates to play there? Vincent Pule, perhaps. But, Saleng is Munapule Saleng, and for that reason, he should start. I think he should start every game. And the reason why I say that with him is because I don't think Saleng is the kind of guy who strikes me as he gets complacent with starting games. He's constantly working hard. Even when he was the best player in the league, Saleng was running more than everyone. He was chasing more than everyone, defending more than everyone. And, I just love him. I think he's such a lovely player. I think we don't have someone like him. He's special. I think Munapule Saleng is a special player. And I think there's no one like him in this league. And I think, he might not be the most talented player, but he's talented in other ways that most South African players aren't. And that's his great determination. It just takes him places. His great determination has gotten him from, playing in the Free State and to playing for Orlando Pirates, and then going out on loan to Moroka Swallows, and then coming back to Orlando Pirates. And his great determination then got him to be the best player in the league last season. And his great determination is the reason he got 2 goals today. And his great determination, I imagine, is going to get him even to better places. I just absolutely love the guy. You guys can criticize me all you want if you want to, but I think you need to be really hard pressed to discredit Saleng as someone who should be starting games for Orlando Pirates. I really think so. I think it's silly. I really do. I think it's really silly, this notion that he doesn't deserve to play. Look, I think sometimes what happens with these players is that they set the bar so high for themselves, which Saleng did, where they start to be a victim of their own success. And that's what I think has been happening with Munapule Saleng. I think this is sort of the standard now. If he doesn't score 2 goals, what did he do, right? That's the standard for Saleng, and I get it. I'm sure he'll say he loves to play under pressure. He loves that pressure because it gets him to improve. But I think we've got to check ourselves sometimes with the kind of things that we say. I mean, I see ridiculous things that people have to say about Saleng, and I'm just so happy that if anyone needed convincing that he's such an asset for us, you had it today versus Kaizer Chiefs. And, you know, before I go on for too long, I just want to reply to all the Kaizer Chiefs fans that were texting me at 2-1. And yeah, sort of just, you know, if I can get a GIF to send them of Munapule Saleng doing, you know, the backflips, that would be great. Or maybe I'll send, I mean, Ashley Dupree thought he was doing the backflips, but yeah, that was very premature for him. He didn't know that, you know, the man of the moment was still coming. And I'm so glad for the Buccaneers. Guys, if this video has been terrible, you guys are going to forgive me. I'm going to try and give you something worth watching and worth appreciating in terms of thorough research and depth. But it's just, you know, just a raw emotion out of me that I'm so glad, I'm so happy that we played the way that we did. And I wish the season was going better. It would have been even sweeter to celebrate this victory. But it always is great to win against that team from Pefeni. And yeah, let's be rubbing it in their face. Let's be rubbing that salt in their wound. Let's not stop talking about it. Let's start the week talking about it. Let's wear our jerseys. Let's talk about it. Let's post about it. Let's do everything that we can, and let's shut Kaizer Chiefs up because they talk too much. And I mean, they were talking at halftime already. That's just the kind of fan you're dealing with. They just pests, those guys. And so let's rub it in their face as well. I know we are very civilized and sophisticated as Orlando Pirates fans, but let's be petty this week. And yeah, until I sit here again, that will be on Monday, doing a tactical sort of review. Please watch that one, and thank you for supporting this channel. Up the Mighty Bucks. Cheers. I know you're craving some more of Talking Buccaneers content. Well, I have great news for you. If you hit that subscribe button right now, you'll stay up to date with all our future content.